Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Sydney. In today's video, I'm going to be answering some Poshmark questions from my Facebook group members. We are going to talk about Poshmark titles. We're also going to talk about finding inventory for your Poshmark business and also why you might be experiencing some slow sales on Poshmark right now. So great questions submitted from my group members. It's going to be a great video and I hope that this will help some of you kind of get through a slow sales time and maybe kind of jumpstart your sales in your Poshmark closet. Before we get started, I do have a really exciting project that I am working on kind of behind the scenes. I've already had several of you from my group and my email list sign up. So just want to say thank you to everyone who has signed up so far. If you are not in my Facebook group or on my email list and would like the details, definitely send me an email. The email for this is pbhqinfo@gmail.com. I'll put it here at the bottom of the screen. I'll also put it down in the description box for you as well as the comments. Okay, so let's jump right into the video. So first question is from Heidi. It says, when listing, do you add EUC in your title, description, both, or neither? I'm just wondering if that is what's holding up my sales because I use that in my title. So this is going to kind of vary on each platform, but in terms of using EUC, I really don't use those initials at all. The only initials I really use are NWT, which is new with tag. And the only time I put that in the title is for my eBay listings. So on Poshmark, if you have something that is brand new, there's actually a part in the listing where you mark it brand new with tags and it will put a little NWT label right there underneath your title on the listing. So if somebody is scrolling Poshmark and they are looking at your listings or they come across a listing and your listing is brand new and you have selected that it's brand new, that NWT label will automatically show up on your listing. So I do not put that in my title. Occasionally I'll put that in the descriptions. For the description, I really like to write out gently worn, great condition, or brand new. I don't really put NWT. I like my descriptions to kind of flow, and then, you know, putting that brand new in there. If somebody searches for like Lily Pulitzer dress new, that new is going to come up in the search results. So I actually write out the word new. Now in my eBay listings, I will put NWT, but I put it at the very end of the title, and that is more so to kind of catch somebody's attention when someone searches for something on eBay. If you have that NWT right there in the title and somebody is looking for something that is brand new, that's going to catch their eye, that's going to catch their attention, just because eBay, it has something that says brand new on it, but having NWT in capital letters in the title is what the person is going to see first. So really depends on the platform that I'm listing on. Again, I don't really use EUC. You can, there's nothing wrong with using it. You know, I don't think it's going to affect your search results if you do put it in the title. Just make sure that you put it at the very end, just because if you are listing things and you want them to show up in Google search, you do want to put the brand name as the first thing in the title, the brand name, the item. Replicate that in your descriptions just to make sure that your listings are more likely to show up in those Google searches. So our next question is from Crystal, and she posted, I want to go full time, but I'm not finding great inventory. So that is something that a lot of people don't realize. When you're trying to do this full time, you definitely need inventory, and you definitely need access to inventory that is going to be worth your time to list. So, you know, if you are looking around and you're going to thrift stores and you're not finding great inventory, the first thing that I highly recommend doing is trying to go every single day. So I know this sounds kind of extreme, but if you want to have enough inventory to be listing, when I hear full-time, I really consider that listing at least 20 items a day that you're gonna make at least $25 plus on. So if, you know, in order to get that many items that you can list per day, you really have to go sourcing every single day as much as you can, especially if you are not finding a ton of inventory where you are. This is hugely dependent upon your location, the inventory around you, and you might have to drive to the next town over and check the thrift stores there, or, you know, drive to wherever your closest Goodwill outlet is. For me personally, we don't have a Goodwill outlet here. So, you know, if I wasn't finding great stuff at my thrift stores, I would have to drive minimum an hour to get to a Goodwill outlet. Most of my inventory comes from retail stores, but you know, if I needed cheaper inventory or if I was having a slow week, I would have to drive to the next town over. And you know, it really depends on your lifestyle, like if you're going to be able to do that. Another thing I recommend doing, since we are getting into the warmer months, depending on where you live, if you live down south, you probably have these more often, but people are starting to have more and more yard sales. People are starting to have more and more estate sales. As the weather gets better, these are going to start happening more frequently every single weekend. So, you know, if you're not finding great inventory at your thrift stores, definitely pay attention to where people are having yard sales. Join groups on Facebook where people are selling things. Check Facebook Marketplace for people. Some people give away stuff for free that they just want rid of. You know, you really have to start thinking outside the box in terms of getting better inventory and in terms of getting enough inventory that will allow you to kind of ramp up your business and start reaching those full-time numbers. But again, if you are trying to go full-time, you know, strive to list 20 items a day. Strive to go to your thrift stores every day. Go at different times. It depends on, you know, when your store puts out new items. Go in the middle of the day, go first thing in the morning, go at night. See when you find better items. Thrift stores, that's the great thing about thrift stores, is they're putting out items every single day. So if you're not finding items, you know, maybe you're going too late in the day and you missed all the new items that they put out, or people got to them before you did. So maybe you need to try to go earlier in the day, or maybe you need to try to go on the weekends, or maybe you need to try different stores. Get online, get on Facebook, find all the thrift stores in your town and check every single one. Some of them aren't gonna have stuff and some of them are. So, you know, I highly recommend checking them regularly. Usually you might find better deals and more sales at your local thrift stores. You know, those stores are not run by Goodwill corporate office. So they are a little bit more lenient in terms of how they are allowed to discount things. So check your local thrift stores, check your chain thrift stores, Salvation Army, Goodwill, some of you have Savers. You know, check your town, find the thrift stores in your town, find people who are selling things in bulk on Facebook. Join some Facebook groups where they're usually called like for sale, and then put your town's name and search it that way to be able to find these groups. But again, you really have to think out of the box when you are trying to find inventory in bulk. So our next question is from Rose, and she says, slow sales, why? What am I doing wrong? So in terms of this, sometimes it could be you know, sometimes maybe you don't have that many items, or maybe you don't have the right items that are in demand right now, or you know, maybe you're doing everything right and it's just a slow time. Retail has very many ups and downs. I worked in retail for 7 years before I ever started reselling. I have worked for corporate retail. I ran a boutique by myself, all different types of retail establishments. So this happens in every single one. You will have slow days. You will have, you know, really busy times, and then you kind of have to make the most of those busy times to make up for the slow times. This is just a fact of retail. It's going to happen. So, you know, when you notice that things are selling, you, one, need to go and get more of those things that are selling. This is something I tell people all the time. Go through your sold listings and look at what you're selling. Look at what has actually sold for you and see if you notice any patterns. Look at those items and then go and try to source more of those items. Because that's going to be more likely to sell for you. Some things sell better for some people than they do for other people, and that's just how it is. So, you know, really look at what you're selling and try to find more of those items. Another thing is not to be so hard on yourself. You really can't, especially during this time. We are in a very, very complicated time in our world. It's a very heavy time in our world. So, you know, it's not really like it used to be. But you kind of have to evaluate what time of year it is. Like right now, we're in April. So people are getting ready for prom, Easter, graduation, weddings, Mother's Day. So all of that entails dresses, dressy outfits, event outfits. You know, try to stock your closet with things that people could wear to these types of events. A lot of people like white dresses for graduation. People like cocktail style dresses for weddings, you know, brunches, things like that. So just, you know, follow fashion bloggers and look at what they're wearing. But usually dresses in general sell very well this time of year. And then you have to also anticipate, you know, what is the next season we're going into, and that's summer. People are gonna want bathing suits and vacation attire. And then fall, people want jeans and shoes and back to school things. You constantly need to be thinking ahead for these different seasons and sourcing for all of these different seasons. So when these times come around, you already have a good bit of inventory to stock your stores with. Okay guys, that is my video for today. I hope this helped you and answered some of the questions that you have. Again, if you are having slow sales right now, don't get discouraged. Keep listing things, and I will see you in the next video.